Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, apparently, Democrats, as usual, these type of days, are panicking because apparently we got some news from New York. New York is trending more to the right, and like, we know a couple days ago, especially specifically, uh, from the RCP average from May 28th to the June 13th, you will see that the RCP average is 7.5. And now, in the end of the day, in a Biden plus 20 some state, this is very unusual. Specifically, Democrats carried New York by 21.3% in 2016. Democrats carried New York by 23.1% in 2020. This would be probably the very first election where Democrats would be winning the state of New York by a single digit number. And I wonder if when was the last time that actually happened. I think that was 1988, but we can check. 1988 was a very close race in New York, and for sure, it must have been. Yeah, you'll see 60%. Yeah, this is a landslide for Dems. Same deal. Yeah, this is a single digit. Last time New York voted for a single digit number for Democrats would be New York at a margin would be 1988, where Michael Dukakis actually flipped the state of New York because it previously voted for Reagan, flipped it by a margin of 4.10%. And people are saying, well, this is probably potentially going to be the very first race since 1988 where Democrats could allegedly carry the state by 1 point. Well, not 1 point. Trump's not going to win the state. We know that, guys. Sane people know that Trump's not winning the state, and the Democrats are panicking, thinking, "Oh, Trump's gonna win New York." They're panicking. They're feeling in, and honestly, I'm honestly biased for Republicans, but honestly, here's something that Republicans do that Democrats don't. Democrats think they're gonna flip every state. Like heck, posted a prediction one day of this YouTuber, fairly young YouTuber, posted a prediction for 2024, and it was just absurd. He had Missouri going blue. He had Iowa going blue, Alaska going blue, Utah going blue, Montana going blue, Louisiana going blue, Kentucky going blue, and provided zero context on why that is. And his context is Trump bad, Trump insurrectionist. Okay, that he really didn't really take into account why people how people view Joe Biden, and potentially comparing the two as probably the worst. It's controversial, but you get what I'm saying. Yes, Joe Biden has an unpopularity streak. And despite that unpopularity streak, Trump's going to lose because Biden's going to win because Orange Man bad. And yeah, this guy's an NPC like Harry Sessions. We know this kid. I'm not going to say his name because he's a minor. I'm just not, and he's not really a social media figure. I'm going to respect some privacy here. I'm going to give him some privacy, of course. I'm showing you some respect and doing you a favor for not saying your name, but just to let you know, I think you know who you are. You're kind of being a little stupid. Come on. If you want to do your party a favor, you lay out the facts. Don't jump up and down saying you're going to win this state, win this state, win this state, even though you're not even close to picking up those states. You need to look at the polls. You need to look at fundraising. You need to look at your candidate and look at basically previous election results in the state of New York. You got to look at county voting trends. You got to look at city, municipality voting trends. You got to look at demographics. You need to look at age groups. There's so much you need to do in order to declare a state is going a certain direction. And they're saying, oh, Democrats are like saying, oh, okay, New York's in trouble. And I'll say, yeah, you know what? I'm not disagreeing with you. New York, there is a problem. You are experiencing a big problem in New York. You're losing minority support because guess what? You basically lied straight up to their face. You just said that you would build a better America. I mean, your campaign was originally build back better. Are their lives built back better? No, it's pretty much build back worse. I mean, I think they're asking you to put it back the way they found it, and that's why they're swaying to Donald Trump because they realize, yeah, we've been lied to, we've been scammed, and the worst of all, they, as you know, equipped our personal information, our personal identity, like our race, our religion, our background, and they tried to victimize us. And so we could go and give this guy some money. And we know the Democrat, they know, and a lot of the NPCs that are happen to be diverse, they know this, but they're not letting them get to them because they are programmed to work for the Democrat Party. They cry racism because Donald Trump said that illegal immigrants are stealing black jobs. They take huge offense on that, even though it was never, ever meant to be racially intrusive. It's the fact. I mean, let's be honest. These NPCs don't like the fact that Donald Trump is that exposing that Democrats are putting illegal immigrants who are not our priority over American citizens who happen to be diverse. Oh, that hurts us. We're going to switch it back and make him say that he is referencing slavery. And I know that by a fact because I've seen some TikToks and some social media posts of as you know, pro-black, or that so they claim, but they're really pro-Democrat, progressive NPCs, crying racism and claiming that Trump was referencing slavery when he said black jobs at the debate. This is what they do. This is what they do when they realize, oh shoot, Trump's making a good point. They have to switch it around, jump in front, and cut the mic and actually explain to the audience what he actually means. And we know that's not what he means. We know. It's just you are a die-hard revolutionary for the Democrat Party. But anyway, today we'll be doing a long time updated prediction on New York. Boy, I think there has been some changes. We actually have a good RCP average, 7.5. But yes, we're going to go ahead and look at that. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pull up 2022 because 2022 was we knew that 2022 was a good realistic scenario. I mean, I had doubts that Republicans were going to make gains in New York. Like seriously, I'm like, okay, we and let's just say 2022 had us tricked already. The one thing that I thought would most likely be wrong with the polls actually turned out to be somewhat correct. You'll see Kathy Hochul ended up getting 53%, what most polls were suggesting anyway. And Lee Zeldin, 46.80%. That is the best that he has performed. Let's see. When was the last time someone did better? I'm looking at the lower candidates. This was since 2002. George Pataki, he received 49.40%. He still holds the record, and guess what? To his credit, he was a rhino Republican. He's a liberal. He kneels his knees down for the Democrat Party. He essentially got elected. He's so-called fiscally conservative. He's pro-law and order, but he'll say, don't we'll give minority groups you know, better, more slack. He's pro slack for minority groups. Well, here's the thing. Do I want minority groups to go to jail? No, but it's honestly their choice. It's their choice. You know very well what you're doing is wrong. And if you decide to rob a store, shoplift, or kill someone, guess what? I totally support you being in jail for what I support your sentencing, whatever the judge decides. And I hope the judge isn't woke and doesn't buy for your woke tears. Because, especially when you kill someone, you ought to pay the price. Why should minority groups get leeway than I than other people? If we are equal, then guess what? Equal rights means we get the same punishment. That means supposedly serving a longer sentence according to the the crime you have committed. That's common sense. But George Pataki, a rhino Republican that hates Donald Trump and endorses Democrats, doesn't want to do that. He supports Mayor Eric Adams and his agenda of just saying, you know what, it's actually Greg Abbott's fault for sending all the illegal immigrants to black-owned cities. Well, here's the thing. It's not his fault because all the biggest cities in the United States, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, they're run by black mayors. So where else is he going to send them to? Is he going to send them to a random city? Like, oh, does he have to literally scroll down in the biggest cities in the United States? And he's like, oh, I can't choose this city because it has a black mayor and he will call me a racist. I don't think he cares, honestly, and I'm glad he does. Good job, Governor Abbott. I think, and neither do I. Call me a racist. Call me a bigot. Boo-hoo. Cry about it. Guess what? I think Governor Greg Abbott has a heart. He sends these people to cities where there are a lot of jobs. Oops, I hit the mic by accident. Yeah, sends these people to cities with a lot of jobs and a lot of businesses, a lot of homes. And you know what? People there are so happy to take care of them. The bigger the city, the more woker they are. And that's the case. I mean, Mayor Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson said, come, send them over. And Greg Abbott says, okay. And then they're saying, he's doing it on purpose because he's Black Road City. Well, okay, yeah, you just essentially asked for more immigrants, okay? This is how your wokeism kind of backfires. But I'm getting sidetracked once again. So, like I said, why is New York going red, quote unquote? Am I saying New York's going to go red? No. No. New York is not going to Trump, period. I don't care if the RCP average is 7.5. It's great. But in the end, New York City is just too blue. And essentially, if you get down, like, you got Manhattan, you got Kings County, you got Bronx County. These counties are 80 to 70% Democrat. And supposedly, the reason why voter turnout is so low, it's because people are going more to the undecided, or people aren't just saying, I'm not going to vote. Screw it. I'm not going to vote. But I'll tell you, don't underestimate New York. They are severely Trump deranged, and it's not their fault because the liberal media there, New York City, the local media too, is pro-establishment, pro-Democrat establishment, and ultra woke. Ultra woke. They will not apply reasoning. Reasoning's racist. Reasoning is homophobic. No reasoning. Boo-hoo. No reasoning. It's racist and homophobic and sexist. It's far-right fascist thinking. Don't reason. Instead, think but with your emotions. Emotions, because if you have emotions, you care. You care about people. And no. You care But then again, logically thinking, how, instead of bending down and boo-hoo, let's actually do something. Democrats like to say, if you actually cared about poor people or unemployed people, you would vote Democrat. Well, here's the thing: I think Republicans support the unemployed and as you know, the homeless in their own ways. They just don't believe, as you know, they don't believe higher taxes and government programs are the answer. They advocate for low crime and, once again, more jobs. So, in the end, these homeless people or homeless in general can have more options in finding jobs and get off the street. So, essentially, you are basically saying we're giving money to people to get off the street, but these programs hurt other Americans, especially low class Americans, not middle class, but lower class Americans that are struggling already, and they have to pay these taxes. And they make one mistake, they lose their job, and it's over. So we're basically, these programs are helping people get off the street, sure, but it's getting more people on the street because people paying these programs a lot can't afford. Sure, they're taxes. That's why we have a lot of liberal cities full of unemployed people. It's insane. And not to mention the leadership. Kathy Hochul's leadership. Like, yeah, I'm actually thinking Republicans might have a chance of flipping the state in 2022 because she is so bad. So bad. Republicans might have a chance, but that Republican might have to be woke like George Pataki. It might not have to be Lee Zeldin. Lee Zeldin did good, but he wasn't, and that's because he didn't link himself to Trump. I can guarantee you, if he linked himself to Trump more, he wouldn't have gotten 46%. That's sort of the state where Trump needs to keep his mouth shut and let it happen. Let the process happen. And you know what? It's if Trump keeps his mouth shut in a state like New York, he's essentially endorsing that candidate to benefit. You go. But yes, you're probably wondering about the prediction. Yes, you'll see this record. Trying to find the margin. I don't want to do it. Oh, Hochul margin of victory 6.4 percentage points was significantly the worse than Cuomo's 23.4%. And yeah, 23.4 is pretty good. It's a landslide. Yeah, Hochul, just proving you straight out, you're probably the worst governor in the state of New York. So this is what I'm thinking it's going to look like. I think the writing is pretty much on the wall. These are going to be the Biden state, the counties, Biden counties. Broome County's done. It's going for Trump, period. There's no way. I mean, it did vote for the state comptroller, but for attorney general, governor, it went Republican. Pretty and swiftly. But the question is, can Trump flip another state? Because supposedly Trump does better than Zeldin, which I have a hard time. I don't want to declare that yet. I don't know. Because, sure, I mean, Hochul and her leadership, Eric Adams and his leadership. Here's the fun thing. With these two turds in office, they're creating more Trump supporters. Eric Adams is creating more Trump supporters in New York. Residents that formerly hate Trump in person. They actually believe the media. But because they are hurting because of Adams' leadership and overall policy in regards to crime, we have just in general releasing narcissistic murderers, terrorists, actual terrorists that I have heard a couple cases, this is actually real, that severed up the bodies of women into pieces and scatter them all across the city of New York into different boroughs for the police to find. And these people get bailed out. Is that crazy? I mean, Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks says that's crazy and stupid, and she says if that's left wing, I'm not left anymore. I'm not a left wing. We know she is. We know she is. She's a progressive. She still says she's a progressive, but in that specific issue, if the left wing supports that and says that's okay, severing up people's bodies and scattering them and doing whatever with them, I'm not left. I'm not pro-left. I'm not left-wing. I want nothing to do with you. That's sane. I will give her credit and applause for that. You know what? Yeah. Who would? And honestly, if you're a left-winger and you say that's okay, then, oh boy, you think Trump is a bad person. Let's give it to Donald Trump. He actually opposes that. And I hope, and honestly, I think everyone on the street would oppose that. And Anna Kasparian got so much hate for saying she isn't left because of that incident in New York. Oh boy. Yeah, the left has a huge violence problem. They will support violence if it aids, as you know, their rhetoric and their narrative. If it's a left-wing diverse individual, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Even severing up the bodies of innocent women. We're supposed to believe these people are pro-woman, but apparently not, because so many women have died. So many have died to illegal immigrants. And we can't even call them illegal immigrants because that's offensive. Guess what? If I am to have one of these murderers sit down in front of me, I'm not going to let CNN and MSNBC tell me that I have to use proper language to, as you know, to have proper language so I don't hurt this person's feelings. This is actually a person who hurts people physically. This person ends people's lives of many women. I can't even say it on there, but I care less. If I say language that is racially offensive, guess what? I could care less, because that's what you are. Horrible human being, and I'm honestly praying for you. You're on life support, bud. So that's what I would say. Yeah, I honestly don't care if I say a slur. This is what this. If someone severed up a body of a woman and played around with it, I would say I would. If a slur came out of my mouth, guess what? I could care less, because that's what you are. And I'm not pointing at a specific group. And I'm not saying that specific group. I'm saying it to you. I'm saying it to you. Because can't we agree that's insane? And we're not going to avoid language to cut. We're going to use friendly language to make sure that this person doesn't get his feelings hurt. No, I think you need some pain. Just like this poor woman and her life and the loved one of this woman that has been, to know that her loved one has been her life violently taken. So yeah, guess what? When you have these people running around, it essentially helps Trump. It helps Republicans in general. I can guarantee you, with this illegal immigration crisis, Zeldin would have probably gained over 4% of the popular vote. Will Hochul probably win? I don't know. Yeah, probably, but she'd probably be on life support. Her campaign would probably get only 1% of the popular vote, 3% of the popular vote, 2%. Guess what? That's how it goes. But yes, So I'm saying, realistically, I know this video is going to be long. Because, honestly, guys, this is going to be a long video. Because this is big deal. New York. This is New York. New York. New York is the Empire State, and it has New York City. And people are saying, oh, it's going to go flip red. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to go red. It's not going to go red. It's going to go blue. But how it's going to go, how much is it going to go blue? That's going to be debatable. So, I just want to see the county results. I don't know about you. This is the general election endorsements, but yeah, we've talked a lot, really important stuff. We talked about the corruption, and this isn't the corruption stuff with regards to the leadership. Well, it isn't just New York City with the migrants. It's also because it's also Chicago. We hear about Mayor Brandon Johnson. They just got rid of Lori Lightfoot last year. I remember doing a video on that. And guess what? They got this guy who's 10 times worse, who actually blames other people. Everyone but himself. Give me a break. He actually uses taxpayer dollars to get himself a haircut. Really? Wow. Yeah. And this guy's the biggest race baby on the planet. And everyone who criticizes him, he's a racist. All these people that are trying to get a recall are racists. And all these people that are trying to get a recall are actually, a lot of them are African American. And Brandon Johnson, he says, you're not black anymore because you're turning on me. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, so supposedly you're supposed to hurt them more. So you're allowed to continue to hurt them, and they're not allowed to fight back. And if you dare fight back and retaliate some way, you're a racist. Come on, Brandon. Let's not do that. Let's not be like Brandon Johnson or Eric Adams. They are the worst. But yeah. Honestly, I'm going to say Schenectady. I don't know what Schenectady. I don't know what county it is, but we've seen this county. It's gone blue a lot. But I'm honestly saying it's actually in play for Republicans, and I'm saying, okay, that's kind of crazy. But this county actually went for Hochul by 1.58%. That is pretty good, very good indeed. Better than, let's just say, Erie County, which went to Hochul by 6.5%. I say Erie County most likely will go for Joe Biden at the end of the day. But Schenectady County, which is influenced by Albany, it doesn't really have much of a big city. Let's see. Schenectady, I don't know what it is. But yes. That is the county seat. It's not really a big city. It's a Democrat-run city. Gary R. McCarty. I hope he's a better mayor. But yeah, he's a Democrat because, But yes, supposedly 67,000 people. But yeah, I'm thinking about having this county go. I would think it would probably go for Biden. Because we got to take a look at county, okay? Yeah, it's been a long voting Democrat county. 56%. Yeah, we ought to keep it for Biden, but this is sort of what I think it's gonna look like. It's better. This is way better than the one prediction I've done in the beginning of the year, which, if you guys can recall, that prediction was the same results as no, it's not. I'm looking for 2022. But yes, the same results as okay, now this is the state senate election. Jeez. Actually, yeah, it looks like Republicans did actually really good in statewide election. Look at that. 848.66. That's not safe, Republican. That's not safe. That's leaning Democrat. That he Republicans went surged 6.84%. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, it's because of Democrat leadership. State elections, Republicans have a chance. Presidential, it's a little bit harder because you know what? Federal government has nothing to do with the city or the state and their laws and just Eric Adams in general. So it's supposed to be a little harder, and having this be Donald Trump, it's possible. But yeah, we used to have it look like this, but I think honestly we're gonna have it look like this, which is actually a very good turnout. But yeah, this is sort of the prediction I'm thinking. But what do you guys think? Anyways, before I end, just keep notes to remember. Keep on track. The notes to remember. Do I think Trump's going to win New York? No. So really, there shouldn't be a troll that says, "Ha ha ha! You're delusional. Trump's going to win New York." Honestly, I could care less about those comments. But I'm just saying, you know what? If you say that, you're honestly proving your stupidity to the whole channel because it proves to me that you haven't watched this video and you just looked at the title and assumed. So never be like those people, guys. Don't never ever, because I can tell you, I've made it so clear that Trump's not picking up New York, and I shouldn't have to make that clear. I think it should be an opinion, and no one should be shunned for it. But here's something I do think will happen. The more Brandon Johnson lacks and sleeps and cracks his pants up, the more he lets actual murderers and terrorists free to kill more women, the more Kathy Hochul will continue to advocate for Eric Adams and his stupidity with this law and order stuff, the more Trump supporters will crowd New York. The Bronx allegedly is getting filled up with Trump supporters. I'm not surprised. Guys, you know what? These people at the end of the day, politics is like, it's just common sense. If you make an enemy and you hate that enemy so much, that enemy of yours, the government, the city, is advocating for the criminal that took the life of your loved one. You will declare the city your enemy, and you will start to align with the enemies, the city's enemy. And the city's enemy happens to be Donald Trump. So this person might hate Donald Trump in general, but you know what? I got a new enemy, and this new enemy is a bigger threat. You know what? I actually might have second thoughts on Donald Trump. I can guarantee you there has been over hundreds of New Yorkers. I don't want to say hundreds, actually, but close to. Hundreds of New Yorkers that are having second thoughts on Trump. There are. So remember that. It's not just New Yorkers, it's Chicagoans, it's all Oakland, Los Angeles, all these Democrat run deep blue cities with totalitarian mayors. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.